We've got two Cubs legends in the house today, Hall of Fame pitcher and his Gold Glove catcher. Yes, they go hand in hand. Fergie has a new book out called The 1969 Cubs, Long Remembered, Never Forgotten. Please welcome the great Fergie Jenkins and former All-Star Randy Hundley. Great to have you guys on the show. And for people that don't remember the Cubs in the 60s and 70s, you guys, pitcher and catcher, I mean, it doesn't get closer than that now, 7 decades later. Tell me about the friendship then, how it got started and how it is now.
Well, we both came over in trades. Randy came from the Giants, I came from the Phillies. And it was kind of a mix of, I don't know you yet, but we'll soon know each other, because the Phillies organization totally different than the Giants. Mm-hmm. And I think the first game that we played together, we beat the Dodgers.
We beat somebody.
Yeah,
You write the forward in the book, Randy, and you said you would call the game, and Fergie would take the call, and then he would throw what he wanted to throw.
This is very true, and I don't know if any of you have any idea what a tough job it is being a catcher for a guy like this. You throw one sign down, and I'm throwing a fastball down, he's throwing a curveball down. If I may share real quickly, one day, we're beating Atlanta into the last inning. I'm already thinking about getting home, having dinner and whatnot, and all of a sudden, the bases are loaded, and we up by 1 run. I call for a curveball. He throws a fastball. Fastest fastball he's thrown all day. Gets the screen, tie and run in. I'm not going to go out and talk to him because he's not going to listen to me anyway. I call another curveball, another fastball. We lose the ball game 2-1, and Jack Brickhouse asks his normal question: who is the toughest player in the league for you to pitch to? He says, my catcher, Randy Hundley.
Did Randy ever get mad at you?
He'd come out there and he'd go, come on, get it together here. I said, we are together. But we had a few disputes, but most of the time I'd shake him off and come right back the same sign.
Yeah. Well, for people that don't know, winning 20 games in a season for a pitcher is the gold standard. You did it 6 times in a row. You won the Cy Young Award. Many call you the greatest Cubs pitcher of all time. What does that honor feel like?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm the greatest pitcher. You know, the only way a pitcher wins is to have good defense. And Randy was part of that, along with Glenn Becker and Kessinger, Sano, and Ernie Banks in the infield. And we had Billy in the outfield. We had a pretty good outfield, too. But I think the biggest thing is a pitcher can't survive without hitting and defense. Mm-hmm. And that's the way you win.
And let me tell you something else. This guy could flat hit, too. How many home runs? 13 home runs in his career as a pitcher.
As a pitcher, yeah. So let's talk about the book, Fergie. 1969 Cubs. Many call this the greatest team to not win the World Series. What made you want to write this book?
Well, about 8 months ago, George Castle and I got together, and we just thought about putting something together because he said, if you're not thinking about what's happening, it's going to be 50 years come 2019. And I went, wow, where does the time go?
Right.
So I said, well, let's put it together. It took us 8 months to put it all together. Randy has a chapter, Billy. But we just thought about what was really happening in the 69 season. And it all started in spring training. Mm-hmm. And we stayed in first place a little over 5 months.
Right. 4 Hall of Famers on that team. Billy, Ernie, you, Santo.
Yep.
Fantastic
and
team.
The manager, Leander Osher.
That's right. I want to ask you guys, I always think about when I talk to legends, like when you look at today's game and you look at the salaries today, what are your thoughts?
Go ahead, Randy.
I wish I was making that kind of money. Yeah. I think it'd be a little bit more pressure on you to, every time you go to the bat, you don't want to make an out. And I made a lot of them, so I'd have had a tough time.
Yeah, I mean, can you fathom that what you guys played really for the love of the game? I mean, a lot of guys had jobs in the off season in professional sports. It was just a different time. Did you wish you had a time machine?
Check this out. Now, this is a true story. our clubhouse man, Yosh Kawano, handed us our checks every 2 weeks, every 15 days. Now these guys, direct deposit.
Right. What was the check? Do you remember?
Wasn't a whole lot.
Well,
I know-
I'll tell you what, my first year I made $7,500.
Wow.
My first year, $6,000.
$6,000.
Oh, you made more than that.
How's with the Phillies? $6,000.
Well, yeah, but you came
first-
to the Cubs and you made
Well,
about
I made a little more of that when they gave me a raise.
Oh, here we go.
My
This is
first
this is
check.
what it was like in the
Yeah,
60s
really.
playing together.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Randy, about these fantasy camps, because you were kind of the guy that really started a lot of these fantasy camps,
I
right?
originated the concept of the fantasy camps, and as a matter of fact, we leave here and go to Arizona Sunday and start a camp coming up in a few days, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, Cubs convention this weekend. What can fans look forward to, Fergie?
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Well over 10,000 fans. You know, it's really something when you think about it. Randy and I, we're like the last two of the 69 Cubs. We still put the uniform on and act like little kids.
Yeah. Well, you know what's beautiful about Chicago is everybody appreciates you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So much. You got your rings on too.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, you can pick up a copy of Fergie's book, The 1969 Cubs, long remembered and never forgotten, at 1969cubs.com, or call the number. We're going to put it on your screen. All right, and you can meet Fergie and Randy at the Cubs convention this weekend at the Sheraton Grand Chicago. And Saturday, Fergie is going to be at Harry Carey's on Kinsey signing copies of his book. Thank you, guys.